Hello everyone, this is Bentley, and today we're going to give you some updates on what I've affectionately called the warm room, the grow room, or the primary fish room in my house. So we're in kind of my primary fish room, and you might be able to see these tanks are dark, these tanks are lit, but all these tanks are empty. This whole rack of tanks is coming down, and it's going to change. So let's walk around the fish room, talk about some of the differences, and what's coming up. I just want to try to do a different video this go around, more impromptu, little fish room-ish tour. It's been a while since we've done an update. Probably should have cleaned this room more, eh? But that's how you know it's like a more working fish room. So let me grab the camera and we'll walk around. So we're going to start over here in the running river tank. And you can see the Corydoras equus and the running river rainbows just hanging out, doing their thing. We'll zoom in a little bit. Come on. Focus. Thank you, camera. Jeez. Then you can see the running rivers and the equus, some of the equus cories swimming in there. See kind of big gap where a lot of my Jacobsoni pink crypts used to be. And some of the other stuff that was in here, some of the boosters and stuff I was doing some experiments with. Not doing super hot, but still kind of surviving. That's okay. It's the nature of things, right? And then we move this way, and this is the rack that we've emptied out. And you can see there's still some equipment, but all the equipment is unplugged. But like all the sponge filters that used to be in there are all completely emptied. They've been cleaned out. They're actually in a bucket over here. And then all these tanks will get removed. I'm just letting the dehumidifier kind of finish drying out. Because if you look, we go down there. You can see, like, in the bottom of these tanks, just a little bit of water still left, what the python couldn't get up. And that's slowly drying out. So these 6 tanks are all coming down. And then these 3 10s up here are also going away. And we're going to put 2 40-gallon breeders in the place. So 1 40-gallon breeder here, and 1 40-gallon breeder here. Then also there's this 29-gallon acrylic that's here. This is going to go away as well. Part of the equipment was run over here to power, or was hard to get to, namely the heater. The rest of the equipment I can now start unplugging and work on draining this tank too. But I'm going to wait until all of these are gone first. And then in the 29 gallons place, there's going to be something for some testing that'll be coming. So you might ask what happened to all the fish. We had some rainbows over here. What were left of the rainbows all went to the retirement tank. And then I had several younger Wabenmuster plecos. So the Ancestris species Wabenmuster, or the honeycomb Ancestris. And then I also had some standard super reds. Let's kind of pan this way, so we'll come this way. Here's the angelfish tank, where Bob the Sponge is still going, and you can actually see I've got a pleco cave, and there's a big Wabenmuster pleco boy hanging out of that. Well, there's another large male in here and a couple females, too. So that's where one fish went. And then down below, this tank's not lit, but this is where the Sentaniensis used to be. I think there's one lone male in there that I haven't caught that needs to get caught and moved. There's 3 female Wabenmusters and 1 male in here. That's temporary. They're all getting moved, and this tank's getting some work done to it. But we can kind of see just how good this tank's doing. You can see, look, there's Bob. What about Bob? Let me get this thing to focus a little better. Bonk. See, Bob's doing okay. Not as good as he's been in the past, but still okay. But, I mean, just look how big this male is. He's a big boy, and he's He holds that tail out so wide, you can see just how fanned he is. He's a proud boy. The angels still picking fights with each other, doing what angelfish do. You know how it is. But overall, this tank's looking pretty good. Don't really need to do much to it other than I do need to come through and gravel back a little detritus out of this corner. Just with the number of plecos in here, it creates a lot, right? And then finally, here's one of my other rainbow tanks. It's kind of just a holding tank where my pictas are and a few leftovers. Some of the super reds went down here. You can see a cave. There's a male hold up in there and a couple females. It's also just like some leftover plants. You can see some stuff that I pulled out that's dried out I need to clean up. I did a bunch of cleaning in here. Actually, my mom helped me clean this place too, because my mom's awesome. But in prep for some of that stuff, so it's kind of the big update. No real changes. I guess the Guppy Mansion did get one extra pleco in it. Let's spin around to that, shall we? So there you go. Zoom out a little bit so we can see it in all its glory. See, there's some blackbeard algae I'm dealing with in there. I've added some nearite snails and some amano shrimp, and temporarily a couple teeny tiny Siamese algae eaters to help get through some of this filamentous algae that's in here. It really started popping up after a massive heat wave way back at Triple Crown, and it's just been a very slow process fighting it off. We had a lot of crypts melt, so all the crypt Sri Lanka that's back here in the middle, this crypt Petchai that's up front, and then the Florida Sunset back there are all slowly growing back in and looking good again. Some of this Java Fern's a little unhappy, but a lot of that has to do with algae. But overall, tank's doing great. You can just see army of guppies looking beautiful, showing off the blue. Got a lot more males because we came out of summer. Into winter, I'll start getting more females again. And it will be fantastic. So that's a short little update for you guys on this room. So the big thing is, we got 2 40-gallon breeders coming in, and a few things we're going to test. Let me grab something, and we'll talk about some of the stuff that I picked up as a part of the first tank. So, here's the deal. One of the 2 tanks that we're setting up is going to be a CO2 injected system. I'm kind of fortunate in that the Aquarium Co-op sent me one of their new CO2 regulators to test. We'll do a more full video on that setup and all that kind of stuff later, but so I was like, well, if I'm going to do CO2, I need plants, right? I don't want to just use only stuff I have around here, but I want to do something a little interesting. So I went to a couple different places. I went to one of my local stores, which is Denny's Pet World, to get a bunch of wood, because they typically have larger pieces of wood. And then I went to the Aquarium Co-op, my normal local fish store, and picked up a bunch of plants. I figure if they're going to give me a CO2 regulator, I can throw them a few bucks and buy some plants from them. So, let's go through some of the stuff we got. Ooh, complete with a snail. Get that leaf focus. There it is. Look at that. Look how healthy that is, man. It looks so nice. So nice. So this is a Nubius golden coin. And I'm just going to plonk these in the angelfish tank to let them have a place to stay. They've been in bags for a little longer than they probably needed to be. Oh, here's some good stuff. Good stuff. You're going to notice a pattern pretty fast. This is some beautiful... Look at that. Nana Golden. I have 2 pots of the Nana Golden. So, we'll keep track. Shove that back there. 2 Cophifolia, or 2 golden coin. 2 Nana Golden. I do have 2 Cophifolia in this bag, too. I'm sure this Pleco's going to be like, what the hell's banging on my cave, man? Stop messing with my house. Ooh. Oh, I just knocked the leaf off. I feel bad. I feel bad. Look at that. Whoop. I'm jiggling it too much. Some nice coppifolia. This stuff's been in a bag a little longer than it wants to, so it's a little upset, but there we go. That's the good one right there. There's the leaf I knocked off. But I love the texture of these leaves. You can see that there. Just beautiful. That nice rufflage to it. Sorry, rufflage. I'll make up words. Sue me. And I have some other stuff too that I bought at a third store that I've had hidden away. Cryptlutea. This is a little angrier just because it's been in the bag too long, but you can still see it looks really good. I just would have preferred to come out a little faster than I let it. I know, angels, I know. They don't like when I drop like random bombs of plants in their tank. We might have to take one or two of those big ponderifolias out of this tank. Here's actually a young ponderifolia. We might take this bad boy with us. It's been floating from when I sold a bunch at a local club auction. Gonna like pin that poor pleco in. Then I have a fan favorite. Pull that out of there. Some Nana Petite. I got 3 pots of this. That. Focus. There it is. Make sure that camera's playing nice with us. Don't worry, little Crips. It's only for a few days. Got another kind of rare crypt I'm growing out in here with the angels. It's a Nurii species. That is not super common. And no, I'm not going to tell you yet. I wanted a touch of red. So we're doing a lot of green. There's a reason for that. So I got a couple of little tiger lotuses. Look at that bad boy. For a young tiger lotus, that's looking pretty. I know, angels. Oh my goodness. Do you see what big babies they are? I put plants in their tank and they freak out. It's alright. It's temporary, fellas. It's temporary. So that's the start. Driftwood, new 40 breeder, CO2 setup, lots of epiphytes, a little bit of crypts. So we're all going like easy and medium plants, nothing difficult. I want to showcase what any of you could easily do in a low CO2 system. That's the first of the 2 tanks getting set up. It might take me a little bit, just because we got to get some tannins leashed out of some wood and do a while, but don't worry, you'll get a full setup video. We'll talk about why I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, and it'll be part of testing and reviewing long-term the CO2 regulator that the Aquarium Co-op has. So that's it. Tanks are coming down, new tanks are going up. Some fish have moved around the house. We got big Mr. Wabbamooster in here with these prissy angels that are like, don't put new stuff in our tank, we'll freak out. But that's it. I've also got, technically, as I'm filming this, my Iquitos tiger plecos are in a box right down there. I would show you, but then you'd see like my shipping information or Dr. Mazeral's shipping information, and I don't want to do that. Plus, my friend Alyssa's coming to pick them up, so might as well keep them sealed. They got here today, and at the time of filming this, my birthday present to myself is going to a friend's house. But that's because I want to make sure that they are in the absolute best hands that I know locally and have a really good chance to get bred so that we can have more of this fairly uncommon pleco, the Iquitos tiger pleco, which is a Panoculus species. That means a wood eater. A lot like the L397s. Super, super cool fish. Hoping to give you guys some footage of that in the near future. Maybe we'll go hang out with Alyssa and do a little, like, show and tell video or something, huh? Alright, guys. That's it. If you enjoyed this little kind of quick glance around my fish room, what's going on, preview of what's coming up, let me know. I just wanted to have a little more impromptu video this go around. So, with that being said, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a little like. Maybe we'll do something extra, show a few more tanks. Maybe we need to look at the retirement tank. It's been a while. Let me know in the comments down below. What are you most excited for? What do you think is in my psychotic brain? What fish am I putting in the new pretty CO2 tank? And maybe we'll even call it an aquascape? Love to hear in the comments down below from you guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. And stay awesome.